Hello, hello. Welcome to Debbz Den. I am here in the lovely city of Lethbridge, and I have some fantastic guests with me, all the way from the United Kingdom, coming into Lethbridge to teach us a few things about spirit art. This is Shelley Ewell.
Hi, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. And I also have Dr. Reverend William Pellet with us from the Spiritualist Center, and he's here to give us a little bit of updates also. So welcome to Just FM.
Thank you.
Yeah, William's been here before. He's one of my favorite guests, and I feel sponsored by the Spiritualist Center because I do a lot of things for them and enjoy it also. So, well, let's just get started with a little bit about Shelley. If you don't mind, can you tell us a little bit about yourself, where you're from, how you got started in working with spiritualism?
Okay. Well, hi everyone. It's great to be on here, and thank you for inviting me. If I go way back, I believe I've always been aware of the spirit world. I just didn't call them the spirit world. I thought it was quite normal to talk to people from the spirit side as a child, and as I grew up, it was always sort of stayed with me, but skipping over the years, the experience I had, and I've become more and more drawn to getting more involved with spiritualism. It probably started 20 years ago, but when I really did kind of take it on fully was when I went to the Arthur Findlay College at Stansted. That was probably 10 years ago, and that kind of was a major turning point for me. So, and because I never really believed I was a medium all those years, I just knew there was a spirit world and that I could communicate. So, and the journey's been fantastic, some ups, some downs, but it's been good. And, you know, it's forever evolving, forever developing. And obviously I love now that I bring in the spirit art too. So now I've progressed within the Spiritualist National Union back home, and now a certificate holder in demonstrating, speaking and teaching, and forever still the student as well as the teacher, so progressing forward to help others with their development.
Don't mind me, I'm just sharing this out here across the world. I'm not trying to be mean by playing with my phone on set. I'm trying to just spread this out to a few more places and definitely share it on my Facebook. And if you have a chance to share and like and comment, please do. We'll be watching that. But right now, I'm just going to put up Shelley's information here. So keep on going. And also,
Okay.
you were, how young were you when you started doing mediumship?
Oh, well,
I won't say how long ago,
yeah.
but I'll say how young.
I don't know. Well, as regards to actually calling myself a medium, like I said, I didn't understand at a young age that I was a medium. I just knew that I knew of this other world that we call the spirit world, and I would talk to what some people call imaginary friends, and I had many experiences where the spirit people helped me through my life, through very difficult times. There was a time where I couldn't see clearly and was very depressed really, and I wanted to let go of the steering wheel of the car. I'd put the foot down, and my granddad appeared in the back of the car.
Wow.
And brought some sense to me. That was one particular time. And
Did you really see him? Or
yes, I see him in my wing mirror, obviously in my mirror rather, and he took some sense, and of course I slowed the car down and put my hands back on the steering wheel. So, and I'm here to tell the tale. And and there's a time as a youngster that I was being followed by a gentleman which I wasn't aware of, but the spirit people kind of made it known to me that I was being followed, and helped guide me away from him. I went in a shop and hoped that when I come out he'd be gone, and he wasn't. So I came out and they guided me to the local police station. So I've had many experiences, and they're just two that have helped me very often with times of need, and where there's times where they've appeared to me when a loved one's been poorly and ill, and where I know that by prayer, again, you know, my faith as a child was Christian. We weren't strict Christians, So I knew the power of prayer, and I used to pray to the spirit world, and without realising it was the spirit world then. So, and like I say, through life, it wasn't my most important thing, because I didn't understand, and my family weren't classed as spiritualist people, so I wasn't nurtured, it wasn't knocked either, so it was as my daughter got older that I started to get this calling that I couldn't let go of, and then that's when I started to really seriously try to understand and look into it. And as I said earlier, you know, I'd what we call dip my toe in and then dip my toe out again, because I thought, no, you know, there's a lot of responsibility, and I don't believe I'm a medium, and that took quite a long time to overcome. But going to the college at Stansted was the point where I went, okay, now I believe, yes, and then I took it seriously in the sense of where I could help others and help them also now as I move forward to help them with their development.
Right. So I think that helping people is something that I believe that once you realize that you have that contact, that you can help people, and you can help, especially when people are in times of grief. Now is the time that you can really be there for them and help them to ease their pain and to ease their fear.
Definitely.
Yeah,
it brings great healing, but not only great healing for people here and proof that their loved ones still are around and supporting them, but it also helps the people in the spirit side to bring healing to them too. And you know, so we are the mediator for the two worlds. So it's not just this side of the coin, if you like, that we are of service to. It is to the other side. So they have great healing and great importance too.
I'd imagine a lot of people, when they do cross over, they leave things undone, things that they're just they were not ready. A lot of accidents, or they just weren't able to say the things. And they feel bad. Maybe they need to make some kind of a connection to ask for forgiveness, or
yes, sometimes people don't understand when they're here, or sometimes their behaviour maybe, or you know, like you say, they have things undone. So from the spirit side, it gives them a chance to communicate and come through and build that bond again. Sometimes with family that they may have not agreed with. There's many reasons. But you know, their healing and their communication is extremely important for them as much as it is for the comfort and healing for people here.
And on their own, they can't really reach out and just communicate without frightening. I think they communicate easier with young children.
I think with children, because they're not being conditioned to society and the material world. They're very naive and open and innocent. So when they're open, their mind is much more open to that of the spirit. And they don't know that it's anything wrong.
Right.
But as we get older and we're told, oh, that's wrong, or often that quality, that gift, the beauty within closes off because of, you know, being in the material world. And it's not kind of always accepted, is it? So.
Yeah, and that is something that I'm trying to do here on Debbz Den, is to help people realize that it can be accepted, and it doesn't have to be evil, and it isn't done in a way to hurt people or to conjure up the dead, or it's really about healing and making those connections with loved ones whose spirit still lives on.
Very much so. And also, when we start our journey with the spiritual path, we realise there's so much more. The communication with the other side is extremely important, but it actually has changed lives, and I know it has changed mine, and it's brought much more joy, much more comfort, and we realise just how much more we are all very much collectively connected within this world. And and then we look at people with much more love and compassion, and with ourselves, and where we can help each other far more.
And that's what I've been studying, the spirit art a little bit, and there a lot of the things that they were repeating was that there is a collectiveness amongst us all.
Yes, very much so. Yeah, very much. And everything that is living has its own energy and is alive.
Yes.
It's unique to each and every individual, as well as each and everything living on this planet is live, and we are all collectively connected to the universe.
I think that is even represented in flowers, seashells, the way water flows, how everything goes together, including our DNA, actually.
Yeah.
That there's a common connection with all of us.
There is, yeah.
Mm-hmm. How do you feel about that, William?
That there's a common connection between all of us?
Yes.
Well, I mean, when you think of the universe is simply a vast ocean of energy.
Mm-hmm.
And so really what we see is something like this table that's separate, really energetically is not.
Mm-hmm.
And so on all various, an energetic level, we're all connected to everything and everyone.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why we can do so many, if we allow ourselves to move past sort of the materialistic limitations that we have set for us, and begin to really explore our potential in terms of various forms of communication, various forms of sensitivity, we surprise ourselves. And I know for many people who come to a development circle for the first time, or even come to a Sunday service and receive a message, the first thing that comes into their mind often is, I had no idea we could do that.
Yeah.
I had no idea it was possible. Because we've been conditioned to believe that this table is separate from me. I have no ability to connect or relate to it whatsoever. So, and of course, the longer we walk in this world and are conditioned in that way, the more difficult, more separated we feel. So, I absolutely do believe that we're all connected, and that's what makes, and not only connected here in this world, but of course connected to other worlds as well, including the spirit world.
Well, and if we are all energy, and everything is energy, then energy should be able to be accessed
Precisely.
from all levels, at all times.
And there are various levels of energy, and as a result, various frequencies of energy, which we need, as we learn and unfold and develop, we're able to access those more subtler, finer realms of energy.
As we become more sensitive.
That's right, which lie in this, reside in the spirit world and beyond.
So, Shelley, you're here for a reason. We're blessed to have her here in Lethbridge for a reason. William has just gotten back from the Stanford University in the United Kingdom, which is the Arthur Friendly College for what is the point? I know it's for mediums, but I think it does a little bit more. Or is it just mediums?
Well, it does. It explores various. It's the mediumship and the psychic arts, I believe.
The psychic arts. That was the word I was looking for.
So it goes beyond just simply mental mediumship or trance communication. It includes various psychic arts, various psychic skill development. And Shelley, you would know as much about this as I do. But it goes even beyond that. There have been in the past courses on shamanism, there spirit art, all sorts of things, which really, as we work with the energy, with our sensitivity, with mediumship, we're realizing that there are no limitations really. The limitations we set up for ourselves, but it certainly is the foremost, the best, the ultimate training center for mediumship in the world.
Yes, and that's what it's world renowned, and that's been around since about 1968, I believe.
Well, it's been actually
when it opened.
Yeah, I don't know the exact date. The Arthur Finley, who the college is named after, was a strong proponent of spiritualism. Wrote a number of books on spiritualism, and when he passed into spirit, he donated the lands and the building, his estate, to the Spiritualist National Union. So I can't recall when that was, but
I studied it a little bit. It was 1968 because I'm born in 1969, so I remember that date quite well.
but it's a lovely Victorian mansion, about 45 minutes northeast of London. And for us, it's kind of like Hogwarts. It's
Our spiritual home. Isn't
That's right,
Yeah.
a spiritual home.
I actually found this week a little article on the Stanford Hall, and I shared it to my Facebook this week because it's a whole walk through the whole building and everything. And I believe you're not allowed to take pictures there, are you? Or no. So this is a really good view. If you go back on Debbz Den or Deb Nickel, you can go back and see the tour of this amazingly beautiful building that is dedicated, really, I think, into teaching people that there's more to life than just death, I think. And that's important because then we don't have to fear death so much.
That's right.
Another thing that I seen this week was on the Arthur Findlay College was the spirit art. And they did some of those. And I believe that's what you're here for, just to help us with some spirit art. So let's talk about that a little bit. But first I better say I am Deb from DebbzDen.com, and we are live here in downtown Lethbridge, Alberta on JessFM.ca on the app, JessFM.ca on the internet if you want to watch us there. That's where you'll catch all the bloopers and everything because we always start there first. And then also we are Jess TV on Facebook, so you can just type in Jess TV and find us, and that's where you'll find us live first. And we are also Jess TV on YouTube, the Canada flag. But if you're looking for my videos of Debbz Den, you can go Jess TV Debbz Den, and you will find the list of my videos. And you are already on that list. If you look up your name now, it comes up.
Okay, I'll do that.
So you'll have your second show now on YouTube that I found anyway. So I'm really excited to share that with you and have that ability to have you on and have you here in our beautiful set here in downtown Lethbridge. So let's talk a little bit about what you have planned, what you've been doing already so far this week. You just arrived Tuesday night, was it? Monday night, okay. So you've had a few readings, I guess?
Yes, yeah, I've been doing some private readings.
Oh, good. So if somebody wants to get a hold of you for a private reading, and this is a mediumship reading, or is it with the art?
I think now that's finished.
Today's the
now.
last day.
Oh, is that today the last day?
Yeah.
Okay.
So tomorrow evening I'll be demonstrating the spirit art as well as active mental mediumship from the platform tomorrow evening at the church.
At Lethbridge Spiritualist Center, located in the Community of Christ Church at 425 11th Street South in Lethbridge. And that starts at 7 p.m.
Okay, so that's just, I know, I've been in Lethbridge since I was a kid, and I don't know if you're from Lethbridge, you might know where Top's Pizza is. It's one of the oldest little pizza places here in town, and it's just down towards Spudnuts, across from the Senior Fritzig Center. There's a little white church there, and it's a center that we have our meetings in. We have our meditations on. Is there a meditation tonight with Jade?
No.
No meditation tonight?
No, Jade's away.
Oh, I think she just got back late last night. I think I seen a post from England, and she was like, tired. Happy to be home. Okay, so that means that we start our classes tonight and
7 o'clock.
at 7 o'clock. And we do circle. We run 3 circles 2 times a year. So
we have circles running basically from September through to June.
January.
September to June. There's a break for the holiday season in December.
Mm-hmm.
We have basically foundation or beginner circles, intermediate and advanced circles. And we also have workshops and meditations. We also offer breath work at 5:30 on Mondays, led by Dana Rust. And of course, as you mentioned, Jade offers a meditation at 5:30 on Thursday evenings before our Thursday evening circle. And of course, we have Sunday services at 7 p.m. And this 7 p.m. every Sunday.
I think the meditations were kind of slowing down now for Christmas break, but still coming in on Sunday. If you just want information, or just check out what we're doing at the center there, just drop in on, or if you're missing somebody and they're not going to be here this Christmas with you, and you maybe want to hear a message from them, do come in on Sundays at 5 to 7 or 7 o'clock, and we have a beautiful guest. Will you be speaking this Sunday?
Yes.
Oh, great. We have the most fantastic guest coming all the way from the United Kingdom talking this Sunday. You might want to catch that. And then we have a song. We do a little bit of a mediumship. And will you be our medium this week?
Yes.
Oh, and another great blessing is Shelley will be our medium. And we usually bring through about 6 or so messages for the audience.
Yeah, it's also important to point out that Shelley will be doing a demonstration of mediumship on Friday night, so that's tomorrow night at 7 o'clock at Lethbridge Spiritualist Center. And the cost is $20, and she'll be doing a full hour and a half of messages to those who are in attendance. On a Sunday service, of course, the time is much more limited, and
20
it
minutes.
gets to fewer people. So if so we certainly invite everyone to come out on
Bring your friends,
on
bring
Friday
your
night.
family.
Friday night at 7 o'clock, and refreshments, etc., will be
Cookies.
shared afterwards, after the evening with Spirit. So it runs from 7 to 8:30 p.m. tomorrow night.
So that's tomorrow night, just at the Spiritualist Center,
Yes.
and it's guaranteed to be moving. I know that when I hear the messages, even coming to other people, even if they're sitting next to me, I'm very empathic. I can feel that energy. I'm like, oh my gosh, is that for me or not? Or it's definitely somebody beside me, because I can feel that energy. And even if you're in the room, you will feel the shift. And the whole point of it is to give evidence of the other side, that they're still there, that they're happy, that they're doing well, and they're still concerned about you and want you to be happy. So that's tomorrow night at 7.
Yeah.
Okay, so come early, $20 at the door, and that also includes some coffee, tea, and delicious sweets afterwards, where everybody can sit around and kind of have a talk about a little bit about what happened during the service. Will there be Asha healing on Friday night?
Friday night.
Yeah.
No, there's
No Asha?
No, there's Friday night will be just simply our
Mediumship.
demonstration evening spirit on Friday night this week. Yeah.
Fantastic. It'll be all about Shelley Yule, and you can find her on YouTube, because this video will be up if you're looking for some more information. And also, that's how we also end on Sunday nights too. So if you are feeling fuzzy or having some pain and want to just come for a healing, there's also Asha Healing, Alberta Spiritual Healing Association, for about 10-15 minutes at the end of the service. There is a call for that before the cookies and tea,
Yeah.
and there's healing offered to about 10 to 12 people each Sunday. So do come in for that also.
Right.
And then we also take donations.
We also have 2 workshops this weekend, and there's still space in both of them. There is a blending and harmony workshop that will focus on mediumship, and that runs on Saturday from 10 till 5. We also have a workshop on Sunday, Creativity, Art, and the Medium, with Shelley Yule from 9:30 to 4:30 on Sunday as well. So we have 2 workshops this weekend that there's still space in. There's space for up to 20 people in each of the workshops. So if you would like to register, you can send us an email at lethbridgespiritualist@gmail.com, or you can also go onto our website, lethbridgespiritualistcenter.ca. So it's not too late to register if you're interested in either one of those 2 workshops. And Shelley can share a little bit more about what she's put in.
Yes, we're going to dive into what's going on in those workshops. That's what's coming up next. So don't go away. We're going to leave the best for last, of course, because we're going to talk about the art that the art class that she's teaching on Sunday afternoon or Sunday morning. I'd imagine there'll be a little bit more information. And or do you do
No, I get them working straight away.
Get
I
them working?
I do talk obviously and explain as we go along, but for
Okay.
people to experience it, they understand it far better. So I do a bit of talking and guide them through the exercises.
Yeah, I learn best when I'm hands-on.
That's it.
You know, that's
So-
you know, I'm better than reading a book. I'm better on hands-on learning myself. So then let's start with Friday night. We're going to have the. I'm sure it's going to be a really fun time. And to believe me, that $20 to see a professional medium for an hour and a half. It's an hour and a half, right? That is an amazing deal. You look at some of the mediums, they're charging hundreds of dollars with hundreds of people. Your chances of getting a message aren't that great. But if you have intention to talk to somebody or you're missing somebody and you come in, there's a really good chance that you're going to get a message, especially if you come in with intention. And for $20, it is absolutely worth your time and energy to come see this beautiful woman do her demonstrations. So then we start off, let's talk about Saturday morning. What's Saturday morning going to look like?
Okay, so Saturday we're going to be looking at, as I said, blending in harmony. So we're focusing the day on private sittings, private readings, and obviously I'll be discussing on how the structure of them and how we prepare the room and so on and so forth there, but also about the importance of how we blend with our sitter and understanding their needs and why they come for a sit-in, because the needs could be very varied and they could be anything from they're missing somebody in the spirit side that they need to hear from, but they could be needing guidance within their physical world, in their life. So there could be many reasons why somebody comes for a sit-in. So I find it's very important that we look at the blending with the sitter and that their needs and what's important for them, as well as we move through, because we'll be doing attunement, because again, if we do not understand attunement and how we can attune to our own energy, our own soul power, then how can we expect to connect with the spirit world and understand that attunement? So I'll be working from the self, the soul, and then into working with spirit communication as the day progresses on. So, and of course, the spirit world, our loved ones there have needs too.
Yes.
From the spirit side. So as a medium, we must be aware of the importance of that too, as well as in the sit-in for the sitter who comes, that the spirit people need a voice too, and what they need from that sit-in. And we'll be looking at a closer blending with the spirit world also, because facts are extremely important and evidence to give proof.
Yes.
Yeah, very much. But we also must never forget the presence of that spirit person. That's when you said about with the demonstration. Yes, just skip into that a moment.
Yes.
That you may not be able to touch everybody with a particular message to them personally. However, when you bring the true presence of the spirit in, that will touch everyone in that room.
Absolutely.
And we're talking of a great intelligence here.
Mm-hmm.
There's often where the message will often resonate with many people in the room, and bring great healing. To be in a demonstration or a service, Sunday service, the power and presence of spirit brings much healing to many in that room. And that's what is important, as well as the factual evidence.
Right.
And I learned very early on that who are we to judge that evidence?
Right.
Because what we think's very good evidence maybe not touch the soul of the sitter and touch their heart, whereas something we think was quite simple could actually be what they've been waiting for to bring that healing. So that's what it's important.
That
so that's
we
where
don't
I'm looking
judge.
at.
So
Yeah, we shouldn't.
that's
judge.
where we have to learn. I guess that's where you started off with learning about yourself first,
Yes.
and how
Yes.
you feel, when different energies come in, and our different energy comes to you, and how unique it is, and what does it mean to you? right?
Well, you see as well, we've got to look at us as a person, the self-development within this.
Mm-hmm.
You know, there's many aspects we need to look at when we are starting to work with the spirit world, you know, to be the best of service for them,
Mm-hmm.
you know, and self-healing, and there's many ways without going too in depth.
Mm-hmm.
So it's important, yes, and important to understand you and the mindfulness, you know, keeping positive and sending out love, and yeah, so.
I almost feel it's a little bit less of my mind and more of just going with the flow that comes through.
Yes, that process is, but then also, like I say, if, for example, if you was going to do a private sitting or a demonstration,
Mm-hmm.
and you've done 12 hours work and you've probably not eaten, you've not had much sleep, you know, your physical stamina is not going to be there. So you know, so you're not looking after your own physical health. So then, if you're feeling weary, then your power of thought will be like, I just want my bed, or I'm hungry, or I'm tired. So then your mind's not clear.
Mm-hmm.
To focus and be open for that, to communicate with the spirit world, because we need physical stamina.
Yes.
We need to look after ourselves, and we also need to be looking after our mind. You
Mm-hmm.
know, the power of intention, the power of positive thinking, because if we think we set intentions that we're too tired to do this and we haven't got the energy, then we're setting ourselves up to not be the best service to the spirit and to the sitter, if that makes sense. So, you know, you've got to look at things like that, and you know, yes, we often look upon the spirit world and we forget about our soul power, because our soul encompasses the spirit, which we are all collectively part of. So when we start to understand that and we build that power, then we can sustain that energy to then be able to be in that altered state of blending with the spirit world.
It is an altered state. I
It
think
is,
that's what
yes,
use,
yes.
is an altered
Because you have to
state.
move your awareness. You have to train yourself to focus much more. You know, this logic mind of ours very much gets in the way.
Yes, ego
and that
and
restricts
logic
us
and-
and limits what
We're not working with we're not working with logic.
That's
and
it.
ego.
We're
and ego.
limiting the possibilities. And as you know, touching on what William said earlier, the possibilities are limitless. They're endless, because everything that is living is of energy. So, you know, but our conscious mind and how we've been conditioned in life, like you said, this table is solid, whereas, you know, in the realism of things, it's not.
No, yes.
And once we start, that's why attunement's very important. And
What do you mean by
meditation.
attunement? Just
Okay.
so, cause in case, you know, somebody's listening and they're wondering what is that?
Yeah. Well, okay. So
Because that's what we're starting with, right? You said
Yeah.
you start
So
with
if we
attunement.
look at meditation, meditation's very passive, and it's very good for the relaxation and to centre ourselves and to calm the chatter of the logic mind, and that's very good for self-development and help you feeling more balanced and in harmony. So okay, so that's very good, and that's very good with helping with calming the mind. However, when we talk of attunement is what we often refer to as sitting in the power of spirit. So
Okay, we do that.
yeah, okay. So that is more active, you see, because when we work with spirit, it's much more active, especially active mental mediumship. Whereas, like I said, meditation is very passive and relaxing. So when we look at with the power of spirit, I believe that the spiritual power includes the soul power, and that is who we are. So to attune to our energy and to the spirit of who we are, the soul that encompasses all that we are, then we understand our vibration, if you will, our energy, and then we help to build that and focus, to start expanding that, to be able to heighten our sensitivity, to be able to be in the power of spirit. Now, when you sit for attunement, you send in power of intention.
Right.
For, say, if you want to sit with your soul, because, you know, we have much wisdom that's within us, and we often search out when it's already in here.
Yeah, that sounds like something
and we
that,
often forget that. And
that people need to learn.
And we can build much more knowledge, much more confidence and understanding about ourselves. So then then we understand then when the energetic changes as we raise our vibration to then to touch that of the spirit world. So sitting in the power of spirit is a very sacred, special time that we facilitate for the spirit world to come and blend with us and work with us in whatever ways needed for our development. But it's a very precious time, isn't it? We're very sacred.
Yes.
That should never be taken for granted. And sit with it, not expectations, and just allow that blending with the spirit world. And it helps, if you will, fine tune as a word, and help our blending. So when we start to work for the spirit world, it becomes an easier process.
Is there a specific way that you calm the mind of those who believe that when you're entering a spirit world that you need protection?
Can you say that again? Sorry.
Do you have an ultimate power that you say, protect my spirit while I'm here, while I open the door and let spirit in?
No, I don't.
Who watches over your body?
Okay, if I've got your question correct, I don't believe we need protecting from the spirit world. Because the spirit world come with much love and non-judgmental. So there's nothing to be protected of with the spirit world. I believe that, from what my knowledge is, that we as people with energies here and with negativity sometimes that's more concerning than that of the spirit. Because we have personal responsibility as well, and often people forget that, and we often put blame or reach to the spirit world to give all the answers, and we are here to live. We are here to be in the present moment, to learn and grow and find out our true purpose, and to help mankind.
Right.
We have that choice.
That's my goal, help mankind.
Yeah, but we have a full responsibility, and we should take that on board. And choice of free will as well. You know, if we choose to use our power for good or not so good, that's our choice. But we cannot blame that on the spirit world, because we have responsibility in what we do.
So I think attitude when you're going in is probably what's most important, is that you keep your spirit, your concentration, your mind on a place of peace and love and forgiveness, and with a genuine heart to want to help. And I think that's where your protection comes from, is by keeping your heart in a good place.
You see, not that obviously with the psychological side of it, I wouldn't go into that because I don't know enough knowledge. But you know, the power of intention, and if we believe and fear something, then that we will create more fear and more negative.
Right.
So, and then what we give out, we attract, and that's our perception then. So to me personally, from my experience, as I believe William will agree, that there is nothing to fear, so there's nothing to protect yourself of from the spirit side. You know, like I said, our minds, our logical minds can create negative. They can create fear and see things in a much more negative way that then we feel that we need to be protected.
We believe as spiritualists that energy follows thoughts.
Yes.
Right.
Thought is an energy. And if we dwell on very negative thoughts, we create an energy.
Right.
The energy then can have an impact on ourselves and others. So I've heard many spiritualists say that we have much more to fear from others in this world than we do from the other world.
I agree.
The negativity that's created in this physical world.
Right. Whereas when we really are attuned to the power and we experience either our souls or the spirit world coming through, very often we can be overwhelmed by the love that is expressed. And I really believe this, that the spirit world is all about love.
Yes.
I agree.
And our experience of it, when we really are truly attuned, is an expression of love. And so how could we be anything to fear in that?
Well, I guess I believe that God is intention, and intention is in everything. And so if your intention is good, then everything is good.
And then you focus your energy, your power to that of what your intention is.
Yeah, for the positive intention, and always be on the balance to be open to all things good. important to balance that energy. Okay, so Saturday is going to be about, and this is going from 9:30 to 4:30 also?
Yeah.
No,
No,
10
5 o'clock.
10 to 5 on
5.
Saturday.
Oh, 10 till
Yeah.
5, okay, so a little bit, not quite so early, but 10 till 5.
Yes, it's 9:30 to 4:30 on Sunday for the Spirit Art
Okay.
workshop, because we want to finish a little early because we have the Sunday service following.
Yeah. Right. And then you have to have time to have lunch, supper, and
Yes.
relax, and unwind down and clean up from a fun afternoon. So the Saturday day will look like you get in, you do your spiritual tuning, we'll work
Yeah, we'll
on.
be working with, I'll facilitate different exercises.
Ooh, exercises are fun.
You say, oh yeah, you
Oh,
gotta come and
yeah.
work.
I'm
But
all
you
about
see-
doing those fun exercises.
But you
yeah.
see, to really understand is to experience.
Yes.
And I can only facilitate these exercises to give them the space and time to explore these particular aspects of the soul, the self, the connection with the spirit world. And everybody has their own unique way of personally blending and connecting with the spirit. So it's just allowing them that time to explore that and what they can really truly achieve and experience that pure unconditional love of the spirit. When you are truly in the power of spirit, it's more than words can explain, isn't it, William?
Yes.
And it's truly beautiful.
It definitely is.
And nothing certainly to fear.
Yes.
So
That's good. No, that is just something, because I think people kind of run, when you're thinking about mediumship, some people, because of religious backgrounds and upbringings, they've been raised with fear.
yeah.
But when you release that energy of fear and just open your heart and realize that this is about love, this is about healing, this is about learning about yourself and reflecting who you are, right?
And those who are able to sort of observe the aura or see the energy field know that love will always result in the expansion of one's energy field, one's sensitivity, whereas fear will always contract it
Yes, definitely.
and make it smaller. And so when you think about it, all the support we could receive from the spirit world is lost when we are in fear. But indeed, when we are in love, when we are experiencing that attunement, all that support, all those resources come available to us.
That's why I like the opening prayer, because we open up with prayer of love and light, and to be in a place where we're here to help, and we're here, the medium is here to help the sitter and to connect that energy and have that connect. And the very important thing that I find is that we don't feed the medium. I like it a lot better when you have no idea and you just feel that energy coming through.
Yeah, and it's more evidential as well.
Yes.
And that's what it's about.
So that's what tomorrow night's going to be about. Is
Yes.
a lot of just amazement is what I kind of find it is absolutely amazing. The evidence that comes through, the truth that comes through, the emotions that come through. So I actually put up a post this week that said, people can read your words and know what you're saying, but they also feel your emotions and know what you're feeling. So no matter what your words are, you can have the most nicest words, but if you're coming from a place of nothingness, they're going to know that. People can feel that energy.
Yes, it's true.
So it's important that words don't only mean things, they also give feelings. And I think that's what you get when you go into the spiritual center.
Well, I think people can sense the love, the support, the peacefulness as well that it comes from creating that energy as we do together. We talked earlier about creating negative thoughts and negative energy. We can also do the opposite and create very positive, very loving thoughts that there's always that residue that's created in that space. And so the spiritualist center is a place that is, you can feel that.
It is.
And
It's a
certainly
beautiful place.
and there's certainly other churches that do the same, but we certainly, from experience,
Focus on it.
create that. Yeah.
Mhm. I really, really enjoy that. So again, we are here live on Just FM, downtown Lethbridge, Alberta, Canada. We do broadcast around the world. We have over 2.5 million radio listeners. And in Lethbridge, at a given time, we have about 60,000 listening in or watching just on our radio app. So, and we have a few thousand people on the internet. I've got a couple people watching us right now live, and I like to go home and watch it on my big screen TV on YouTube, and that's where I usually watch my shows at a more convenient time. Whenever I'm ready, before I go to bed, I will be watching this on the big 72-inch screen for sure. And I just want to say thank you for being here, and thank you to Jesse for giving us this opportunity. So let's also talk now about what is the art, because we're getting down there already. I can't believe time's flying. So, what is going to happen? What kind of art are we talking about? Are we using pastels? Are we using ink?
We're not using inks, but we've got a variation of different materials so that everybody can explore and play with different materials. Because what's nice for one is not for another. And
Right.
so we try and provide different ones. So there'll be pastels, there'll be acrylics, not oils because they take too long to dry, charcoal, pencils. So we've got a varied amount of things, obviously, for them to explore with. And again, I will facilitate different exercises where they can explore their creative spark, because I believe, I know that everybody has a creative spark within them. It just needs to be ignited. And as soon as you say that, everybody goes, yeah, but I can only draw stickmen. Well, actually, this workshop's not about that. This is not about conventional art, and that's not disrespectful, because I absolutely love all types of art. But this is about finding your unique spark, and that can just be working with colour on the paper. And it's quite, people have surprised themselves many times with how they can do a full psychic reading or a mediumistic reading working with colour and art. So it's not about...
So it can just be a scenery. So everybody's making their own. It's not a guided draw this, draw that, this step, that step.
Yeah, I will guide to a degree, but within that exercise, there's room for expansion for them to find their own personal, unique spark. But I will work with the psychic art. I will work with soul art. I'm not going to tell too much because it spoils the fun for the day, and then we will move on, progress throughout the day where we will communicate with the spirit world. And we, often you think when you're doing spirit art, people automatically psychic portraits. They go psychic. The automatic thing is portraits, which I love.
I've watched that. It's amazing what people can do with their eyes closed.
I like to show that you can actually facilitate that for the spirit without it being a portrait. You can again work with colour, symbols, visionary, all different ways of working that will then give evidence of who the communicator is, and you can get philosophy and wisdom when you're connecting with the spirit world and working with the art as well as the soul, of course.
So it's not like doing a mandala painting. It's just like okay,
it's a
that's
different
good.
way, even though I love them too. But,
Yeah.
It's a different way.
So if somebody has no experience with spirituality, it would probably be good for them to take the Saturday course, and then that would really attune them for the Sunday course.
Yeah, it'd be good.
Yeah, I think that would be a good combination.
Yeah, but also with the art, people feel freer sometimes because they're so focused on the art. They can be expressive without having to verbalise it initially. They can, because that's how I warm people up in the beginning. To blow the cobwebs away and all the self-doubt and just show them just simply how it can work. So, but by all means, it will give them more of a foundation for the next day.
So it's really good for anybody, even if you have no experience. If you have no experience but you want to do this thing, maybe somebody's passed and you want to have a feeling of connection with them and have a permanent piece of art that you can maybe give away as a gift to somebody. I think that was what I was thinking was the most beautiful thing, is that you could go through this and do this artwork coming from heart, coming from spirit, and then give it away for a gift at Christmas.
Yes, you can do, or actually it can help you with where you are in your present day, with whether it's emotional healing, physical. It can help in many ways, and especially if there's an art creation made that's connected to a loved one,
Right.
then they've got something visual that they can frame and look on that will always remind them of that spirit person.
And know that connection was there when it was done, that they had gone through a connection. So let me just see if there's anything here that, because mindfulness or accuracy. So when people are just drawing and using pastels, I would think would be the nicest thing, but by not using a ruler and making things perfect.
Oh yeah, but you can do that with acrylics. That's how I started doing acrylic paintings with my fingers.
Oh yeah.
So, and I still do a lot of that with
yeah.
my fingers. So the background, obviously, you can do it with many ways, but yeah, you can be more restricted if there will be no rulers.
Okay.
Sunday.
I think that's
They
good,
will-
because then
they
that gives
will
you, you're working from
Because
mind,
we
you're
have
you're
no
not working from
restrictions.
structure.
Yeah, no.
You're working more from
It's inspiration
from
and-
inspiration, right? So that means you can't do it wrong.
No, you can't.
That's I think my
Nobody.
point on that one. If you're not going to be using rulers and making everything perfect length and everything, and you're working from inside, then
Inspiration.
there's-
I believe a lot of, with artists, musicians, anything of the creative arts, I believe they're inspired. If it's not from their own soul, it's from that of the spirit side.
So yeah, they've been doing this in Tibet to raise consciousness, really, for thousands of years. Have been doing this kind of artwork. So I think that it is about, but I watched quite a bit of stuff just so I knew what I was talking about today. But they had talked about raising your own consciousness, and what comes out on the paper is a lot of a vision of who you are.
Yes, it can be. That's why with the soul art. But you can also, when you attune to the soul power, then you can blend with the soul of your sitter and do the artwork for them. So and the colours and whatever's needed for that person, you can gain much information and much healing with that.
I know that Carl Jung was a Swiss a psychic, also healing psychic, and over 100 years ago he was doing this type of work, and there was a time that he did 100 paintings for 100 days in a row, and just to see the progress within himself, and to see that how much the art can connect and how much the art can change. So I thought that was beautiful. So some of the things that this is healthy for, like doing your own art, doing the art, the painting.
Well, it's very therapeutic.
Yes.
It's very healing for yourself. That's how I started. When I was at school, I did art as a class, and I used to like doing pencil drawings, for example, and I touched a bit of pastels and a bit of watercolour, but I copied, because that's how I did it. And then obviously throughout my life's busy, and I never pursued any more. So this was quite out of the blue when I started to work with, and how it started for me was I needed to express some frustration and emotion onto paper, and that's how it started. And then I realised, hey, there's something in this. So it's very therapeutic, it's very healing. And
science.
Much more.
I was looking at some science on TED Talks, and TED Talks is the science side, and they say that doing the paintings, then doing specific art and taking classes like this can reduce stress. It's good for critical thinking and self-awareness. So if you find that you're not connecting with yourself, but you got something that you want to bring out and you're not sure how, try art. Try this form.
There are so many ways of expression that sometimes are repressed in society, and so art is one way.
Yes, it's one of many.
And what's really cool about it is when you create something, you look at it afterwards and then realize something about yourself that's present in that you hadn't realized before. So there is a relationship between what's created and yourself that kind of unfolds as you work with the art. And it is a process of, as you mentioned, kind of self-development.
Surrender and release and letting go of what you're holding on to. And
Before it
putting down.
gets too late, because I know we're going to be wrapping up soon.
Yeah.
So each workshop is $90 each, but if you register for both workshops, there's a $20 discount. So it's instead of 180, it's 160. So as I said, there's still space in both workshops available. So if anybody would like to register, it's not too late. Simply go to our website, lethbridgespiritualistcenter.ca, or send us an email at lethbridgespiritualist@gmail.com.
I'll add
to
those
register.
links.
That's great. Okay.
Okay. Is there a phone number that they can call to? Some people don't have email.
Sure.
Do
If
you have a
they
phone
want to
number
call, they can call
you?
403-942-1302. That's 403-942-1302.
Okay, and who do they ask for there?
Either William or Sharon.
William or Sharon.
Mhm.
Okay. And yeah, we are getting close to that time. The time just flew. I just can't believe how fast it goes. Will you be playing spiritual music during the painting?
Sometimes, yes.
Sometimes, yes. a
It's
little
not
bit.
always spiritual music.
Oh,
It
it's
can
not
be
always
inspired.
painting. Yeah, by science.
Yeah, all different musics you can play.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you do anything on the colors? What they mean?
Yes, but I don't like to make that rigid, because yes, it's good to have a knowledge of a general understanding of the colours.
Mhm.
However, your personal connection and with the energies of colours will be personal to you,
Mhm.
and it can be different depending on what is needed. That could be on a mind, physical, spiritual. It could be on many levels. So you limiting people again.
Mhm.
If you go, oh, this colour means this,
Right.
this and this.
Because
So
it might
I
mean something to
prefer,
somebody
I
else.
prefer not to go in depth with that, because I
That's
like
good.
them to find their own discovery and experience of that.
So it's really self-journey.
Yeah. Oh, very much so. Yeah.
I know here in Lethbridge that we have an abundance of beautiful artists that are always doing different kinds of things, and I would really love to see some of those artists join in and learn a little bit from Shelley this weekend. If you happen to have the chance, that would be great. Drop a line, do something, call, leave a message. I'll be checking on our show, and the links will be along underneath in the comments with the show also. But we are getting close to that time, and I wasn't sure. I always do a meditation. Shelley, would you like to lead us in a short little 5-minute meditation?
Yes, if you like.
That would be fantastic. I'm so looking forward to it. So myself, when we do a meditation here, just to make the audience feel included, I usually just stare into the camera instead of closing my eyes. I just stare right into the camera. And thanks again for coming in today.
Yeah, thank you.
And hold on for a few more minutes. We're just going to have a meditation. Take it away. Thanks,
Okay.
Shelley.
So, if everybody could get themselves really comfortable in their way, and then start to gently close your eyes. And as you close your eyes, start to focus on the breath, taking nice, deep breaths, slowly inward, and slowly release. So you're focusing upon the breath. Each breath out, you start to release any tension in the body, and start to feel your arms, your fingers, your toes starting to relax. And as on the inward breath, you feel more and more connected to the self, to the beautiful soul that you are. And if any conscious thoughts come to mind, just acknowledge them and let them go, and focus back upon the breath. And each inward breath you start to feel more at one, more connected, and release all those strains of the day. As each inward breath you become more and more at one and less aware of your physical body, as you become truly in tune with the essence and the presence of you. And then we start to become aware of that beautiful bright spark that resides within each of us, of that we call the Spirit, that divine essence of who we are, the purity, the love that radiates deep within, so bright. And as we breathe in and out, it vibrates and expands and becomes more powerful and stronger as we release any fears, any tensions, just to be in the present moment, at that at one moment with the self and that all that is. So we start to realise that we are all so connected, that we are all at one with each living creature, with the universe, the trees, and that of the universe. As we expand our beautiful energy and that beautiful divine power that we are, to expand it beyond the physical body, to the etheric body, to expand as far and as wide, expand beyond the walls of our buildings, to the sky, reach to the stars and the universe. And then feel that strength, feel that love and the power, because the greatest power of the universe is that of a spiritual power that we are all collectively, consciously part of. There is no judgments as we connect. There is no fears. There is only that of love and compassion and joy, as we all blend universally with that power. And as we are in this power, and we invite to sit with the power of spirit in that sacred space, that sacred blending, with no expectations, just the joy and the knowledge that we are all at one. And now we thank the spirit world for their time and for our blending that we can do at any time if we just make that sacred time and space for them and for ourselves. And now, as we start to bring our awareness back to our physical body and back to the room that we're in, start to move our fingers and toes and be aware of the chair that we're sitting on, and come back to the present moment, feeling much brighter and with the joy in our heart and soul. We come back and bring our focus back and gently open our eyes.
I do feel happy. I do have peace. It does feel peaceful. We're back, right?
Yes, we're back.
Okay, good. So once again, I want to thank you for joining in on this hour of Debbz Den here in Lethbridge on Jess FM. And thank you, Shelley Yule.
Thank you.
Welcome to Canada, and I hope you come again. And I encourage people who are at least at all interested in doing some spirit art, please give William a call. There's the number. We'll leave some links in the back. And William, is there something else that you would like to add?
No, not this time.
Okay.
Just hope to see as many as possible at the demonstration on Friday night and our
Yes.
workshops on Saturday and Sunday.
Mm-hmm. And if you can't make it to any of that, at least stop in on Sunday, and there's a free service on Sunday.
Yes, the service is always free.
If you can't afford the weekend, don't think that you need to be left out. You can still come in on Sunday.
And our service is at 7 o'clock, and there's no charge. All there is we, like any other church or center, we ask for free will offerings during the service, but other than that, it's totally free.
Yeah, it's free, and there's also a free healing. But we do take donations. And Shelley, is there anything else you'd like to say?
No, thank you. Apart from thank you for inviting me. It's been a wonderful experience so far.
Okay.
The workshops are filling up nicely, and I'm getting
wonderful.
really excited
Yeah, me too.
for them. So it'll be a wonderful weekend.
Mhm.
So, but thank you.
Right. So if anybody's interested in finding anything more, or want to hear this again, just check us out on YouTube. Go to Just FM, the little Canadian flag. We've had to reboot a few times, so subscribe to the one that has the least amount of subscribers, and that's where you're going to find us. And I will be Just TV. Debbz Den is going to be your easiest way to find me. Thanks for coming today, and thanks for joining us and listening in, and have a fantastic weekend. And really, this Christmas season, think about the love rather than the gifts and the money and the, everything else. Think about how blessed you are to have people in your life, and think about the good things in your life. Thanks for coming in on Debbz Den, and we'll see you again next week. Have a good day. Oh, I can't see without my glasses. I'm trying to look over there. I can't see. Oh, I just want to make sure I do this right. Okay, thanks again for having us.